Good afternoon, evening, everyone. So I apologize for not being able to get on sooner to do a video. God's given me several words on different things, and I've not had time to share them. So, firstly, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not listen to me. God called me to be a herald, to speak the words of vision and the dreams that He shares with me, but take every single thing back to God. And even right now, we've had a pretty significant drawdown in prices of many cryptos, even silver, gold, other things. But know this, that God is hand is working in everything. And it's why it's so important that we have a personal and revelation from Him on what we're invested in, because these are the times we want to go back to those moments when He has confirmed things to us and He has given us comfort. Because for me, that's what I go back to. I'm like, okay, God, what is going on? And not saying it's easy, still not easy, but at least we have something to stand on. And then we go back to Him and He seeks and guides and gives us His peace. So since even last Friday, I've been fairly overwhelmed. There's been some personal family issues and things going on. Um, but last Friday, I was literally just like in prayer and distraught. And I was struggling with just my desire to, I was spiritually exhausted, actually, is what it was. And all I could do was just bow down and weep. And that's literally what I was doing. And Jesus was standing in front of me in a vision as I was just like distraught. Um, because releasing the words that God gives us to release, it is a lot. and um, and seeking Him and desiring to do His will is, I mean, it's a lovely thing and it's a beautiful thing, and there's so many blessings as well. But we do get weary sometimes, or sometimes often. Anyway, so I was just saying, like, God, like, I don't think I can do anymore. I don't want to do anymore. And so He was just like, okay, step back, and you don't have to do anymore. And and there was this little bit of a pull in my spirit, like, okay, really? Like, I'll just step back and not do anything anymore. And God's like, sure, it's fine. And so I let that go, and whatever, was in my spirit that still, my own personal mind of wanted to still do things. And He's like, no, you can just be relaxed. And it was super, just like I had a peace and a calm about it all. And I was just like, okay, um, I'll step back. And then shortly after, continuing in prayer, that He was like, no, I was just wanting to make sure you're willing to do that. And because ultimately it's all His, right? Like He's the one who pushed me and truly pushed upon me to do what I'm doing. And it challenges my faith on a regular basis. It has the entire last year and a bit that I've been doing it. Maybe it seems easy to release things like God gives you, because all you guys are watching, but doing it actually in reality, doing and putting yourself out there, saying things that may challenge people, or even like lately sharing these meme coins that even myself, it's challenging me to release these things. I am uncomfortable with them, but He keeps giving me confirmation and reassurance of them. And again, there's been some that I haven't released in the last couple of weeks, because I'm just like, I don't want to, and I've been going against what God's asked me to do. So I'll release one more today because he's given me so many confirmations on it. Um, but we'll leave it at that. So um, I was this is last week. God gave me this word. Like I saw, it was in a vision too. I saw crocodile giving glory to God. Is that the one we're on right now? No, let me just change this to that one. So I saw a crocodile giving glory to God. And it was to me, it was just like really neat, because I'm like, God, you're showing me this vision, and and I'm like, really, like, because I had even not thought of that. Like, okay, even crocodiles are giving glory to God. So then He started to tell me, like, behind all life there's DNA, but each animal is different and so vastly different. But who can say that the crocodile gives less glory to God than the butterfly? Each variation is a form of worship and has a different facet of the magnificence of who the God of glory is. If you say, I'm only a butterfly God, I will make the rocks cry out in worship so that you can see that all things, the dirt of the earth, the grass of the field, the fire, the antelope will sing glory to God in the highest, to show you I am God, the one and only, the great and awesome is my name. I will not be put into a rule or a you must come here to see God. This is not who I am. And who will contain all of my being except my son? Come and kiss the son, lest he be angry with you. Humble your hearts and acknowledge there is no knowledge but of me, and there is no way in the desert unless I make it. Do not say this man speaks of me, and this one does not. All the while you have not sought my face, nor understood my ways. So humble yourself now before I come swiftly and remove you, proud in heart and stubborn in mind. Know you not that I have spoken through the mouth of a donkey? Why do you judge my servants when you have not stood before my throne? Come and humble yourself now so I can lift you up. The time is short now, and I will swiftly bring shaking and thundering and lightning and a terrible, magnificent day upon you. So come swiftly. Let me change your heart and your mind. Let me put within you life and hope and truth, but stand no more proudly against my servants. Remember what I did to the people of Egypt, and be not like them as they harden their hearts, but soften your heart and draw near to me. For I am a good father, and I desire you with a jealous love, for I paid a price, the full price for you, and a good price it was that I paid. Should I not receive the goods for that which I have paid? Would you be pleased to pay and not receive? Alas, I also will not be pleased if I do not receive the goods for which I paid dearly. And of course, he was talking about the price he paid for us in his son, through his son. Um, so that was to me, that was a really awesome word. I really, really loved it. So I saw, I know I've shared the ark before with you. So um, I saw in this vision, this was the one where I saw, this was like the last confirmation I've received so far. Actually, not the last, but one of the last that I received on the dove. It's the white dove token. Um, and it'll be in the description, contract address. It's one that I received like quite some time ago now, for at least 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks ago. But I didn't confirm it because I first didn't understand it because it was coming through in an interesting way that it didn't make sense to me. But this was the last of the confirmations that I received. And when I saw I was in the ark, this vision does not properly represent what it looked like because the ark only has a window at the top. So I was up in the top, the very top of the ark. And it was actually not super bright. It was sort of dull, of course, because there's no other light. And it was like a hatch, it was like it looked like a hatch almost, the window thing, because I could release the dove through it. And so I had trepidation around my heart in this vision about releasing this. Like I didn't want to. But I did, and it flew off, and I knew in the moment like I needed to trust God to just release what He's giving me to share. And actually, even this morning, or was it last night? Yesterday when I was praying about this, releasing this token. Like he was giving me understanding. Yeah, it was yesterday in the middle of the day, and he was telling me like I have like God has created all these things, and it actually connected into this other vision of which I also haven't shared. This one here, where I was sitting before the throne of God. Actually, not before his throne. I was beside. This AI image doesn't show exactly what I saw. Um, But what I saw was I was sitting beside the throne, and then there was the like Jesus to my left, and I assume God is there. I don't, like I said, I've never seen God. I just have a sense. Like of course you're in a vision, you're not really seeing. You're seeing, but with a spiritual eye. So some of it's not literal, right? It's giving you a sense of, or many times it's not literal. It's giving you an understanding of something. Um, and the understanding of this was so in the vision I saw Bonk AI like as it was actually in a bunker, which God often makes rhyming jokes when he does things with me. And so it was a bunker of Bonk AI, and it was sitting to the far left side of the throne. And then there was one beside it, Solomon. It was a house. Of course, Solomon was a king, he had a house, and it was a house. And then there was a lot of houses and bunkers and mixtures, and all of these other tokens were in these things. And the understanding that God was giving me about this was that, like, these things, like, as I've shared before, God has shown me that He has established them, He created them, And he's the one giving me the words to share. Like it's none of it is me. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't even have the thoughts to do it. So he's giving it to me. I'm sharing it, and then he is confirming it with visions and dreams and with other people. So many other people call me or text me or send me emails or whatever and say, "Hey, I've seen these things too." Like Woolly Mouse, like that was an awesome where I didn't release it even until people started contacting me and saying, "We've seen this." We've heard about it, and I hadn't shared it at all. And I love those type of confirmations. And the same with the elephant and some of these other ones that like God was sharing them with me, and I before I released them, other people had come up just randomly and that I didn't know, or that I knew but they hadn't been told. Um, so what God was saying in this vision was that the wealth is from heaven, right? Like he's in control of this, not myself, not anyone else. And he's the one that's going to bring these things to pass and not me. And so that was so really, it was really awesome because it was comforting to me, and it was comforting me on this concept of releasing the dove token as well. Because God is like, don't you know that like Benjamin, you're not wanting to share it, but I'm the one who created it. I'm the one who is giving you the words to share. Like what have you got to be worried about? Like it's all him. And so again, it's just me needing to trust what he's sharing. And so I am, and I'm sharing it. And if I get negative feedback, I I will politely remove the comments, just so you know. I don't mind people challenging and sending something, but if it's just belligerence, I'll remove it. But I don't need to put up with that. So um I also saw a vision, and this I didn't create an image for it, but I saw papers like it was like through a window. I was looking through a window, and it was about XLM. Um, and it was like there was some. It was connected to some like private detective's office, and it was like it was. I knew it was like some sort of investigation or a detective's office. And there was paper scattered all around on the ground, and I knew it was related to XLM. I have literally no understanding of what that vision means. Um, but that's what I saw. And so I'm just sharing that. I did also have a vision of this. Did we talk about the whale already? I don't think we did. I saw Jonah's whale. Um, and it was Jonah's whale that I saw in the vision. And it was Jonah, like it was in this whale. And I had an understanding in when I saw the whale and I heard the verse, um, and I knew that God would like just as he's created a whale. So the whales in crypto are like people that have a lot of money, right? In ability to buy and move the markets. So whales move the market. So in this vision, I knew that just as God created that whale, that literal whale, he would create whales to move markets. And this is interesting because it relates to a vision that or a dream actually that I had 2 nights ago, maybe. Um, and then he gave me this verse, like it talks about the waster to destroy. And like God has created all things, and he says this in Isaiah 54. He says, "Behold, I've created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I've created the waster to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper." And he's obviously talking to his children. "Every tongue that is risen against you in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord." And so the waster would be like somebody who's using the instrument that the blacksmith made, right? Like blacksmith made the sword, the waster's using the sword to destroy. But what God is saying is that even in all of that, even though I've made it all, they have no power over my children. And so when you connect this to the whale, it's like my children are protected in this market. My children will win in this market because they shall prosper because their heritage is as the children of the living God. Their righteousness comes from him and they're relying on him. So this is why it's so important that we be led by him and not by our own unctions and our own fear and our own motivations and our own fears. Um, and then, yeah, I will think I'll share that part next time. And let me just go because there's another one I have not shared that's here, and it's on this one here. So I saw what's you can't see the full image here, but I saw like two elevators, and Jesus was on the top, and this was like up in heaven. So this mean the AI is showing you on Earth because you can see a city in the background, but that wasn't the case. It was like there was an elevator way up in heavens. I knew these elevators went to the very bottom. And a friend of mine had shared with me a dream about seeing elevators. And I've seen elevators in other times before in relation to, I think, silver it was. So the elevator themselves, when I've seen them, they represent different levels and price levels, right? So they get off at one point, get off another point, they're different prices. So um this was interesting to me because I saw this and my friend had talked about seeing like a bunch of dog coins at the bottom of one of the elevators shafts, like where meaning prices were super low. And then there was another one on the other elevator, and he wasn't 100% sure, but I think it came down to being Lunk and Shiba, like representations of those two, which makes good sense to me. Um, but I don't have 100% clarity on it. So pray over these things, of course, as always. But then what I saw in my dream was this liquid. I was up in heaven, and one elevator was full of liquid, which of course means liquidity in market in the vision. I knew that's what it meant in the vision. Actually, it was a dream. And then the other one was empty. And it's like, so God is going to move, just like the whale, just like the other things that he shared with me. He's going to move the markets, and it's going to be him that moves. And the liquidity is going to be a heavenly move. Just like he said, I'm creating the whale to do these things. So he is creating this, and he's going to be the one that moves it. So and I don't have a thus saith the Lord on this, but for me, it's like, okay, when he dumps the liquidity in one, like those coins pop to the top, and then maybe there's this like one goes up, one goes down, right? Like the elevators, typically you have one that's able to be at the top, one's able to be at the bottom, and then you're able to pick up people all the way across, right? And that would obviously give multiplication and be like pouring the water into the next glass, the next glass, the next glass, like other visions we've seen in the past. So I thought that maybe what that was representative of. And then this was this morning, because this morning again I was really praying and distraught in my spirit. And as I was doing that, I was like, God, like all these coins that you've shared with me, like they're taking a huge dump, and what's going on in the markets? Because you showed me markets going up, like that was what I saw, and so I'm like, what's going on? And so I was just praying into it and trying to leave it all in His hands, and of course, I wasn't selling anything because that would be unadvisable when markets are down. That's the time to buy, not to sell. Anyway, so I was just praying into it, and then God reminded me of something that had happened to me 3 years ago or more, where I'd had a similar. I wasn't. I don't know if I was trading at that time or what it was, but it was something just like we needed help and needed provision, and we didn't have money to pay bills and whatnot. Similar to what's going on in the moment. And I'm like, and not wanting to sell out to go pay bills, right? Like, so anyway, as I was doing that this morning, God brings back this memory, and what I'd seen was on the front lawn of our house at the time. There was like I don't know how many birds were on our lawn, but our lawn wasn't big to begin with, and there was so many birds. It was incredible, and they were just like pecking as though someone had just been throwing handfuls of seeds onto the ground. And I'm looking at it like how is this even possible? Nobody's done that. Nobody's thrown the seed. I know it's my lawn. I just left and now I've come back and there was no birds and now there's hundreds of birds on the lawn. It's like a 20 by 20 lawn. Like it's just not normal. And then I'm just pondering this, looking at it, and all of a sudden God gives me the vision in my spirit to like, and this is an open-eyed vision, which I haven't had too many of those. And I see angels there tossing seeds on the ground, feeding the sparrows and the birds that were just coming from wherever. And they were totally aware of what was going on, and they were just happy to be eating. And it was like they were eating spiritual food because it wasn't literal seed on the ground. It was like spiritual in nature, which was incredible to me. And again, just this morning having that, remember, I haven't thought of that vision in so long. And God's just reminding me like that He provides. He's the one who takes care of us. Like we do not ever need to be in fear or distraught when things go this way or that way. It's us to rely on Him. Like He knows our needs. He knows if you have a bill to be paid. He knows it. Like so, just rely on Him for it. And it's not like we don't do things. We do, obviously. We're buying and selling and doing what He guides us to do. But we can trust Him. And to me, it was really comforting, and I really appreciated it. So pray this has blessed you guys. Thanks, everyone.